Hey man, we're back again.
Yeah.
The Grounded Show, episode 118.
118.
Yeah, man, we've been getting a lot of traction lately with the new
I like
changes and
that. I
everything,
like
man.
that.
Facts, man. I'm super excited with
The
just
algorithm has incorporated us into it, and I'm feeling it.
not facts. They wanted us to be more sexy,
Hey,
and
you know what I'm
it's
saying?
definitely working, dog.
We need to have the wave shirts and the yeah shirts in the mix now.
Yo, it's funny, man. Before we got on, I randomly messed up and said that I was recording on Acid Pro, and you were like, "That's what you used to
Yeah,
use
for
back in the
real.
day."
That was an OG.
Bro, people that used to make music back in the day or just anything musically, everybody knows
Yeah.
Acid Pro, bro. It was a
Acid Pro
program.
and Fruity Loops.
Yep, Acid Pro was a program that Sony made to record music. And no lie, bro, to me, Acid Pro like was one of them ones, bro.
It was easy, man. It was easy to use.
It had a really dope feature to get the tempo right.
Yep.
Recording on, bro, it was
The
just super
splicing, the
dope.
levels, everything was
And
easy.
then they had
man.
Cool Edit, which was like another one that I forgot who made it, but that ended up being Audition. Adobe
Oh, no
Audition
way.
was Cool Edit. It was called Cool Edit Pro. They had a couple versions of it, and then Adobe
It
bought
turned
it.
into Adobe. Damn,
Yep,
that's crazy.
and they turned it into Adobe Audition.
Damn. And you figure like these big market or these big companies, big brand name companies, they see the small, especially coming up in the technology industry and the software industry, like, hey, y'all got it. We could buy that off you and turn it into something big and sell it for more money.
Facts, and that happens so often, bro. People don't realize like they see these big companies like, dang, what are they gonna think of next? A lot of times they're not necessarily
yeah.
thinking of stuff. They're just keeping their ear to the streets, seeing what's going
They
on,
just
what people are
repurpose
doing.
everything.
Yep. Bruh, and even speaking of that, um, we always think that they're really good and they're
Yeah,
coming up with dope stuff,
yeah.
but they be sucking, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
That's why they
easily.
be buying stuff from people. Sometimes they
Yeah.
be trying to figure it out. And bro, that even kind of just leads into one of the topics we had. Like when you're in that stage, bro, when things suck real bad,
Yeah, you hate
you
it.
feel like mad stuck. You trying to figure out a way to like get yourself out of that situation, even if you got to do it a different way or pay or whatever. Like I always think about it with music. You know, there's so many people that try to cut out the middleman with music,
Yeah.
like, you know, trying to record themselves or produce their own music and stuff, but then they don't realize like, bro, you're gonna have to take on a whole new skill set that you're gonna have to hone for years to get to the point where you're good at it.
Yeah.
And then now you're essentially doubling up your work.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's not like you're just gonna pick up this and then you're just gonna do both things equally good and just be able to output it in the same time frame. Like, nah, bro, it takes more time, it takes more tweaking.
Yeah.
And even though you might have more control of it and you might have more how you say it, like autonomy in what you're doing, you still have to put in the work behind it. That's
Of
why
course.
you pay people for stuff. That's why these companies are paying people for stuff, because it's like, I don't have to go through the blood, sweat, and tears of figuring all this out. You already figured it out. I could just give you
Yeah.
the bread
Just
and
do it,
pay
yeah.
you for your blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, exactly.
And we
Just
just
take
keep
your
it
work.
moving.
No, and that's when it comes down to like you can't shift the blame. You know what I mean? Like if something's not working out for you, it's not because of the things that you're or the environment of what you're doing it, and you're like, oh, it's because like we're making podcasts. You know what I mean? And it's not like our podcast isn't working because of podcast game. We could easily shift the blame to the podcast game's oversaturated and it's so hard to get out there. No, we got to put in the work to see how we can line up and get in that algorithm. That's what we've been doing. It's so easy to hate like I say, it's so easy to hate the game because you're not doing good at it. But if you figure out ways to improve and incorporate yourself into how the game works, that is how you evolve and that's how you improve.
Yeah, facts, man. Something that I've learned that's so valuable through music is just getting to that realization where what you do is not everybody's cup of tea.
At all.
And sometimes you're not leading with your best foot, or maybe you haven't figured it out in a way that people are going to resonate with it the way that you want them to.
Yeah.
And so many people, when they're doing anything, business, something creative, music, video, whatever the case is, anything that they're doing, they take it so personal.
Oh, yeah,
When
big time.
somebody don't rock with it, they take it so personal when it's not doing well. And it's like, bro, you have to consider there's so much good quality content out there that's
Yep.
what you're competing with, bro. You're not competing against amateurs.
Nope.
You competing against millionaire, billionaires, creative teams, companies like we were talking about that are, paying somebody else for their hard, their skill and their hard work to make their stuff pop in a different way.
Yeah.
Like, you can't take this personally. You either got to get better, adapt, or just accept, hey, a wide range of people ain't gonna like this, but I'm not doing it for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you really got to figure out what you want out of it. And it's funny, man, because somebody that I met doing music that was actually somebody that ended up being a dirtbag, he really was the one that like opened up my eyes to certain things. And one of the things was like, whatever you blow up with, that's what people is gonna pigeonhole
and
you into.
they're gonna expect you
like
expect that out of you.
people. That's why like a lot of people you be seeing them trying to do these viral type things,
Yep.
and it's like, okay, you might go viral, but what's next? Are you
Yep.
thinking about what you're gonna follow up this with? Because if you go viral because you hopped on a trend or you did some wild kind of video, whoever's following you from that,
Yep.
that's what they following you for.
Yep.
If you're let's say if you're a DJ
Mm-hmm.
and you're doing a viral video where you're doing like a jackass type stunt and you get mad followers, them people is not gonna book you for
Yeah.
DJ gigs. They're just gonna follow you because they think that you're gonna throw yourself against the ground again.
And you know where the truth comes out of that? In the comments section. And they'll be like, bro, stop doing this. Just go back to your videos that we all
facts. They'll
enjoyed.
let you know right away.
Yeah,
bro.
like we didn't come here to see this. We came here to see what you started out with, what you grasped our attention with. Why are you doing this now? And it's like that's a hard transition for a lot of creatives.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And it's like, and it kind of goes back to the thing about when you suck at stuff, you're trying anything to hopefully propel you to that next stage that you want to be at.
Yep.
But it's like, nah, what's going to propel you to that next stage is the thing that you're trying to get
Yeah.
better at. It sucks when you're bad at it and you're kind of like in a rut with it. Like, with the production that I've been doing, bro, it was like a good year, 2 years that I was just banging out a whole bunch of trash, bro.
Yep.
I was pulling out these beats and they were sounding like straight ass. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to record on, nobody's going to record on them beats.
Yep.
But I had to get through that stage to get to the point where now I'll lay something down and somebody would be like, damn, bro, send me that.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And I'm like fighting people off. Like, I'm like, nah, bro, I got this one for me. I already sent this one to this person, whatever the case is, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? But I wouldn't have got there without the ugly stage. It was
Yeah,
just
no.
something we always talk about here, that ugly stage, bro. You
Yeah.
got to go through it.
It's tough, and like I say, you love something when you're doing good, and you hate it when you're doing bad. And it's easy to shift the blame and say, "Oh, it's because of people out there." No, it's think about what you're doing. Think about what you're creating. Think about your presenting. Think about your strategy. It's important because if not, you're just gonna blame. Oh, I can't be good at something because of how everybody's receiving it, and that's not what it is. It's how you're presenting it, and think about your strategy and lock into that.
Facts, man. It makes me even think about Tyshawn Jones, which is a professional skateboarder that was recently on the Breakfast Club. They interviewed him. He has a deal with Supreme. He's like, I don't know if it's sponsored or if he's a collaborator. I don't know what the term is with Louis Vuitton, how they do things, but he's associated with them also.
Oh, wow.
He had a collab with Virgil that he was in the middle of before Virgil passed away unexpectedly. And he was just talking about skateboarding from the point of view of like, bro, he knows so many people that have told him, oh, I tried skateboarding and then I fell and I stopped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's like, bro, skateboarding is just learning that you're going to fall, getting used to it and keep going.
Yeah.
And it goes back to something I've talked about a lot before, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. And Jerry Seinfeld in there, he said something along the lines of, whenever he sees a skateboarder, he knows they're going to be all right in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he just knows the process of, he don't know anything about skateboarding, but he knows the process.
Yeah,
He knows
exactly.
that it's hard, it's rough. And for you to get back on that board
Yeah.
after it hits you in the leg or it throws you, you fall, whatever the case is,
Yeah.
he knows that those people with that follow through, they going to be all right, whatever they do.
Yep. And that's why I love when Tony Hawk used to go around in cars, and he used to see people skateboard, be like, do a kick flip. Because if you got that kick flip down, you on your way. That could be your only trick. That's the first trick you got to learn is to do the kick flip.
Bro, and that's the thing about skateboarding that is so fire is like, there's very few things in life, period, that if you're exceptionally good at it, it'll just cut, like, no matter what. And skateboarding is one of those things where it's like, dog, it's not opinion.
Nah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can't, like,
You can't fake it.
if a dude is landing certain tricks, bro, he is undeniable because he's not doing that with smoke and mirrors,
Nah.
bro.
You can't fake it.
Exactly. And like that's something that I always respect about stuff like skateboarding. Because like even like sports, you could be real good at sports, but if you're not good at selling yourself or if you don't meet the right people,
Yep.
you know, you're just a guy that says he was good but never got the chance to show it.
Yep.
But if skateboard, you don't need nobody to co-sign. You don't need you need the skateboard, bro. You take that skateboard somewhere and you show that you could do it, bro. There's nobody that could stop you.
Nah, you can't fake that funk. You're either gonna know, there's so much that comes to it, and there's so much skill behind it. You can't fake that. You can't do one trick and everybody thinks like you go out on a basketball court, you make a 3-pointer and swish it. That don't mean you're good at basketball.
Facts.
You know, you can't do that with any other thing.
Bro, back in Wentworth, when we was growing up there, like obviously there was white people in the neighborhood, but there was no white kids on the bus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like literally, like there was one that came like later on, and we were all like, we would always like point him out because it was like he stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
He was the only white boy on the bus, and he didn't even live in the neighborhood. He lived in a trailer across the street, and he rode the bus obviously because you know he was mad close.
Yeah.
He didn't even live in the neighborhood, bro. So we was like maybe 5th or 6th grade, and this white boy named Andrew moved in, and he was a skateboarder. We ain't know nothing about skateboarding, nothing, you know. But he came and he was really good, and he just came with that energy, and he was like really like passionate about teaching us and stuff like that. So that Christmas, we all asked for skateboards from our parents.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Everybody hit a banjo.
So, bro, Christmas came. Christmas Day, bro, I'll never forget. We all come outside with our skateboards. We set up like in like this little area like that in Wentworth, like in the middle of the neighborhood, and we're all just trying to ollie over stuff, learning tricks, all this stuff. And we just got really into it because of Andrew. You know what I mean? And I've always like just stayed up with skateboarding since then. You know what I mean? Because of the same stuff that we talking about.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously Tony Hawk Pro Skater, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Dog, that game right there,
Classic,
bro. Like
that made you feel like you was a skater, even if you weren't.
Bro, and then the soundtrack, bro. Like it was like music that I had never heard before, but it was fire, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was that like
that's Ronnie's playlist soundtrack.
It was like nah. See, that's where I was going with it, bro. Shout out to my boy Ronnie, dog, cause he listens to like the rock where Buddy like has a swoop hair in his front of his head.
That emo
and he
shit.
goes like this.
That's that emo shit.
And then he's like, oh, tonight off on the sign, huh? Like the little accent stuff, you know what I mean? Like, bro, I cannot
that's emo. That's emo
that,
rock,
bro. I like, bro, that grunge.
That's punk rock. It's punk
rock.
Yeah.
You know, British rock, grime. You know, the Ramones. That kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? So like when that Tony Hawk hit. Bro, that was hip hop, but with another like in another genre. You know what I'm saying? That's hip hop energy. The stuff they saying, the vibes of the song.
Because you had to be able to skate to it.
Exactly, bro. So like that just opened my mind. Like, damn, bro, like this is dope. Like this is different, but it's super dope. You know what I mean? And there was actually a skateboarding game before Tony Hawk on PS1 that was called Thrasher. That Thrasher dropped, like the magazine Thrasher.
Yeah.
They dropped the game. It was called Thrasher Skate and Destroy or something like that. Bro, that game was like mad innovative, the way the controls was and the way the game was like you would go on a run like how you would do in Tony Hawk, like to try to get your points or whatever. They didn't have like all these objectives and stuff. It was more just like point based
like
or
free
like
skate.
Yeah, like you're just trying to get like a certain amount of points or like it's like a competition level or whatever. But at the end of the level, a cop would chase you.
And you had to run.
And if you didn't outrun the cop, your run doesn't count.
Yeah.
So you could like complete the objective.
Get all the points and the cop catches you.
But if the cop catches you, you got to hit it again because he hit you with the citation and you was done. You know what I'm saying? And that game was super dope. But that game had mad classic hip hop on it. So that game soundtrack was Africa Bambaataa, Gangstar, Stetsasonics. Like, bro, it was like real hip-hop, like what's it called? EPMD, what's his name? Chuck D.
Yeah.
What was the group that Chuck D and Flavor Flav was? Why am I Public Enemy? Bro, Public Enemy, like, bro, it was just them type of bangers, bro. And at that time, you know, like I has mentioned before, like my first taste of hip hop was really like early to mid 90s stuff, you know, Mace, you know, that kind of vibe, you know, just the classic 90s hip hop. So I wasn't really hip on the early 90s and
So
the
that was
80s
giving you a
hip hop.
taste of it, yo.
So exactly. So when I was hearing that, I'm like, damn, these songs are bangers, bro. And like those songs from Tony Hawk and from Thrasher, bro, they're still like a big part of
Oh
my
yeah,
playlist and just
imagine
my
that.
listening
Yeah.
experience nowadays. Cause like, bro, like I was listening to 8 Ball MJG on my way home today, and I was just thinking like, bro, when a song is a vibe, bro, it don't matter when it was made, dog.
Oh,
Like,
not at all.
like a
It's
vibe
eternal.
is a vibe,
It's
regardless,
eternal
bro.
sound.
Exactly. It's like you cannot try to tell me like, oh, this is whatever the case is. Like, bro,
Yeah.
if you're
That's
a
that
music
timeless
head,
shit.
facts. If you're a music head and I play you something that's a classic, bro, you gonna rock with it because it's a classic.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes, bro.
No, but and to close it out, I loved how it's not like that anymore, but video games were a major part of music production was a major part of video games back then. Even like the old college football games and the Madden games, like they had soundtracks, bro, and they really introduced a whole generation of people who didn't know the music to music that was before their time, and they're like, oh, damn, this music, I didn't like that anymore. I think they lost that little sauce.
Yeah,
right
bro.
there.
Even like the importance that they used to put on soundtracks and putting together vibes for movies,
Yeah.
shows, video games, like you said, like they would actually like get a Grammy-winning producer
Yeah,
or artist.
they used to
and
sell. I
be
remember
like,
you used to go and buy CDs of soundtracks of movies.
yep, yeah, and they would win
Yeah.
awards and stuff,
Yeah.
like, and it was bangers because they were just thinking about stuff in a different way. Like now everything is so like quick, let's get it
Like the
out.
Rush Hour soundtrack with Cisco, that was
Bruh.
a bang soundtrack.
I'm gonna close it out with this because I was listening to this song the other day and it reminded me. This is a super obscure R&B song. The artist's name is Best Man, and the song is called "I See You." I'm gonna send it to you so you can
Yeah,
check it
yeah,
out
yeah.
after this. Bro, a banger. The beat is fire. The song is fire. Everything is fire about it. It was from the Barbershop soundtrack.
Oh yeah, the barbershop soundtrack was
The
banging,
Barbershop
yeah.
soundtrack was it had Traded All on
Yeah,
there. It
yeah,
had
yeah.
a Ghostface song on
And
there.
even had it in the video. They had them in the videos
Yep,
too.
yep. And it had that song on there, Best Man, I See You, bro. And I never heard that song anywhere but on that soundtrack. And that's, like I said, one of them songs that I still
Yeah.
listen to this day, bro.
I
Shout out
probably
to
know
Best
it.
Man,
I
bro.
gotta hear. I probably know it.
I gotta check out and see what he even on now, cause I only heard of him then, and that was it, and I still never heard of him again. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, bro. Yeah, we got a lot more to get into on this episode. The way that we've been breaking down the episodes has been really beneficial, and I feel like people have been able to, like we said in the beginning, people can kind of pick and choose a little more. It's a little easier listen than, you know, just seeing a whole 45-minute episode or whatever. So I appreciate everybody that's been rocking with us, all the new people that have been joining us, because it's definitely been hundreds of people that's joined us since we made the
big
change.
time,
Like
yeah.
we've been looking at the stats over, you know,
Yeah.
we've been
The
seeing it.
engagements. Keep engaging with us. Keep commenting. Just give us your opinions because that's going to change our opinions and give us something to talk about. Real talk.
Facts.